everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here for my slightly overdue wrap up of the index card a day challenge that I did for 61 days for the months of June and July. So I created, along with many others, 61 index cards. Every day, a little chunk, a little bit of art. It was hosted by Daisy Yellow Art. She's on Instagram and YouTube under that name. So let's do a flip through of these cards and see what we did. I made videos not every day, but many days. And this is the stack. So look at how just lovely that is. Isn't it just aesthetic to have like a whole collection of something? This is why I'm a collector. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to follow in the key of Mary Ellen, who did her flip through in this way, where she kind of put them all on one side and then flipped. And so let's take a look at day one. So this was day one. This little bit, and I forget who illustrated this, but I did make a video and I talked about it. But that is card one, and on the back it says, "Little wild things by the roadside, opening out with every day, smiling at us in the sunshine, cheering us upon our way, to us travelers on life's journey." And we have little illustrations by the same person. Then day two, we have this, and this was a vintage illustration, and just these super sweet little kids, and it says, "March winds and April showers bring forth May flowers." Maybe I'll leave them turned upward like that. That would be nicer to look at probably. And then day three, this was like a little gallery wall that I created with vintage images and frames, did some painting in the background. Day four, good grief, and I used an image from a children's book of this sheep and a little Tim Holtz girl. Did some painting. Day five, this little toadstool picture of my son with other similar little bits from books. Day six, we had a little flip out with a bird back here. Fly like paper airplanes. A little birdhouse. Day seven, we have this owl girl in green and purple. This is such a tall stack. Day eight, we have this little Frida illustration and some fabric and painting. Day nine, a little flower on the back to go with this bunny with her flowers, a bit of collaging. I said day nine, right? Yes. This is what I worry about, forgetting where I am. Day 10 is this owl collage. Day 11, this clock with lots of blue tickets and little mice. Day 12, I threaded some green ribbon through this Hansel and Gretel vintage German storybook. Day 13, encourage her to make noise, kind of grungy. Day 14, this lovely dove and a bit of collaging. Day 15, you must be magic. Day 16, Old House Muse and this teddy bear here. Day 17, Over the Moon with our space possum. Day 18, a little bird and the catkins. Day 19, a little frog. Day 20, we did some die cut beam paint sampling. Day 20 was some medieval mirage collage. Day 21, I saw myself once in a looking glass outside a shop, wonder. Day 22, he was impatient. Day 23, some gnomes. Day 24, lucky sometimes. Day 25, we have this vintage Irish lotto ticket. Day 26 is another vintage photograph. Day 27, what magic things have happened? Day 28, Deadwood. Day 29, we have a little sneaky kitty cat spyglass here. Day 30, this Batgirl. See how a fairy ring is made. Day 31, one of my little creatures and this little collage with marbled paper. Day 32, Old Mother Nature's plans for good quite often are not understood. Day 32, this little window with this girl and her cat. Fabric in the background. Day 33, this is a little pocket here and has this very lovely lady, and then Misfit Parlors, this journal card inside. And at the back it says, Granny admits growing old, of playing a sharp trick this little feeling, a splendid thought you shall have your share. Day 34 is this owl. 35, we have a little tuck spot with old photography and a vintage clock. Day 36 is this little creature that I created, just a little simple collage with a label. Day 37, a little pink collage. Day 38, some orange and black, and he has a Siamese cat. Day 39, he daydreamed a little with lots of boiled book page. I hope this is day 40. You guys are listening to me and see, I have a thought process. Like I have to think and talk between all the numbers I'm saying. So like, it's not as easy for me to like remember it as you are because you're not doing any talking. So please forgive me if I'm off on my numbers. I guess we'll find out at the end. This XYZ card with my illustrated Addams family that I made some time ago. Day 41, we have the long-eared owl, recognized by their orange eyes and yellow feathers with grayish-brown speckles and wide dark stripes, common in Western Europe. And then we have this lady here with a long-eared owl. Day 42, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And this was our literal eggshell card with eggshells here and Humpty on top. Day 43, a very green collage with some lace and one of my little elven creatures. Day 44, twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. Day 44, is that what I said? 42? 45, I think it's day 45. We have this owl, some stitching, snowy owl. Day 46, it's a cheesy one. Day 47, some copper and those stamps I created for Patreon. Day 48, another gnome day. Day 49, we have this grungy little scene. Day 50, bird song in March. Day 51, this pensive artisan. Day 52, a little bird in a bottle. Day 53 is the northern mockingbird. Day 54, a gray catbird collage. Day 55, this potato man. Day 56, I think I'm off, guys. This little chipmunk. And day 56, probably not, but this is another little collage, and I think I got to 57. And this was the last day with that collage. So I don't know if, I think those numbers are very off. I can do a count again, but why? What's the point, right? Of counting through. I think the point is like, what a fun challenge, and look what we did, right? We made a lot of really fun art. I'm gonna love having these and using them in my journals. I get a little tempted when I make a collection like this to just hoard it and keep it. But like, I'm kind of reminded that like I make these materials to go into my books. That's kind of the point. So thank you for those of you who joined me, you know, through this journey making this stack. Thank you to Daisy Yellow Art for hosting this challenge, and also thank you to Mary Ellen at Red Parrot, who inspired me to do this because she was doing it too and she's my friend, and yeah, it's fun to kind of do things together. So that being said, I will talk to you all again real soon, and I hope you're doing well. Bye for now.